Hey everybody, this is Adam from Up and Adam Comics, and I know it's been a hot minute since I've been on here. I have a lot of stuff to make up, so I wanted to try to do that in a larger video. So I apologize for the length of this, but it's just a good way to get caught up with a lot of the things that have been going on. So I have been actually on vacation the last 2 weeks up in Maine, and it has taken me a while to get to some content until now. What I thought I would do is give just like quick update from the channel. Talk about I have some giveaways that I have received from very generous people. I have a recent back issue pickup that's kind of a little, bigger key. And then I also have some recent books that I just thought I'd give a quick little review of. And then I also have two different Kickstarters that I thought I would share some information about that just came out. So let's get started. So first off, just some channel update news. We do have the Comic Book Community Awards that are happening right now. And I appreciate anybody that has voted for me so far or is considering me for a vote. I'm in three different categories: Best New Channel, Best Most Informative Content, and also Community Artist. And so I know some people have reached out to me and tell me they have supported me in one or multiple of these. So I greatly appreciate that. Um, Second and most important for this whole thing, a good friend of mine that I've met through YouTube, Brandon from Mon Comics, as most people have heard, lost his house and a lot of his comic collection as well in a fire recently. Luckily, his wife, his kids, his cats are all safe, but he's trying to restructure with life. So I will put a link. If you are able to donate, please consider that. I know another thing, like if you've made a contribution and you got another paycheck and you can do another one, feel free to hit up that GoFundMe to try to help support Brandon during this tough time of trying to rebuild life. And I know this has got to be stressful for his kids. His wife's business was trying to get restarted and had some events planned for wedding photography to do. So I'm hoping they can get back on their feet again quickly. I know more secondary, probably in Brandon's mind, would be his comic collection. And so I know some people are already starting to put some stuff aside. I'm going to be doing some of the same and maybe some of this here that you might see today, um, just to try to help him rebuild his collection a little bit when he wants to. So I know he's got other priorities. House, definitely one of those being made. Okay, so while I was up in Maine, it was kind of fun. On the way up, I reached out to Mike from Lunch Money Comics and had a beer at Treehouse. I know he's mentioned loves Treehouse. I do too. So got to have a beer. Good to talk to him and meet him for the first time. So thanks, Mike, for taking some time to drive to meet us up for a beer and he brought some shirts. Uh, so Lunch Money Comics shirts will be represented on different things that I'm doing too. So, so that was fun. Didn't really hit any, comic shops there. There's not a whole lot in Maine, to be honest. But, when I came back home, I had, four packages, and I was like, oh wow, this is cool. So it's always good to have packages and a lot of free stuff. One thing I did, oh man, I meant to bring it in, is I got Bobby Emmons, which I'll put a link to that, did sent me a DVD of um, his movie that he made about Frederick Wortham and the whole uh, Comics Code Authority and all that stuff coming into play. I just watched the movie. It's like a 100-minute movie. Last night was wonderful. And then there were some special features that was on there that had an interview with Al Feldstein. Um, who would have known Frederick Wortham through some of their work. And I think that was the last recorded interview, I think is what Bobby said. So that I just started watching that and I was like, oh wow, this is going to be cool. So but that's like an hour long interview. That's like a bonus feature that I wanted to watch. But definitely, I will put a link to try to hype up that movie. Definitely was, I mean, blew me away with how well it was done, the research that went involved, how it was edited and pieced together. Amazing job, Bobby. So everybody should watch that if you're interested in how the Comics Code came into play and some of the political uprising and thoughts behind all of that. If you're interested in that, it's definitely a must watch. So anyway, that was the first thing that I had. The second, from Bjorn, Son of Crom, on YouTube. He had a monthly giveaway that he does. That's a claim giveaway, not a sale, but he puts comics up to give away. He's doing this about once a month. So generous. He uses his own money to do that. And then everybody pays for shipping. And then that's kind of, um, uh, he'll send you books for free. And he always says he likes collecting books and not keeping them. So he likes to get things, sell them or give away, and then do what is next. So anyway, I thought I would show you what I grabbed. And he also threw in some extra stuff, just because he's crazy and Bjorn and likes to do these things, but really appreciative of all this because none of this was anything that I had. So the first up, and this was a DC book that I grabbed, and it's Superman 423. And this is interesting because it's an Alan Moore doing the Man of Tomorrow story. So I've never read this. I've heard of this. Alan Moore is always such a brilliant writer. I'm excited to check that one out. He sent me a lot of monster things, knowing that I've been trying to collect some Man Thing and other monster comics. So he sent me some of that. This is Book of the Dead, number 4. The monster is loose. So that looks cool. Um, and then this is a volume. I'm not sure what volume. This may be just Man Thing. It's listed as Strange Tales below that, but it's J.M. DeMatteis and Liam Sharp. So there's that. I have a Punisher number 12. This is Rick Remender, written, but I mean it's got the Mummy, Werewolf, Morbius, Man Thing, and Punisher all in that. That's good. I'm excited to read that. There's some Strange Tales issues in here. Oh wow, this is Neil Adams cover, Werewolf and Man Thing. So that is crazy. Awesome, cool, love it. Neil Adams, I just love to death, and um, so it's always cool to see him do like he did that Phantom Stranger cover way back in the day with Man Thing. I'm sorry, with Swamp Thing as a prototype for that. So that's pretty cool. And then this is I am not sure who did the cover for this. It might be Liam Sharp. It probably is Liam Sharp. But this is number 7 with Man Thing and Namor. Uh, And then number 8, it's the Hell of Atlantis, which is also Man Thing with Namor in it. This was cool. I was excited. This is a Werewolf by Night, but one of the recent volumes. This is number 1, and the artist for this is, I believe it was like Verege or something like that. Veregge. He was a Native American artist, and he did some of these variant covers. This one's really cool. Sorry for the glare. But he was a Native American artist. He was kind of just getting up and coming, doing some great artists. I have a great like Captain America cover that he did, all in that kind of Native American art style. He died. I'm not 100% sure about this. It might have been suicide, but he died, I believe, like 2 years ago, and just kind of right when he was getting into his stride. So really a big loss, and one of those One of those a lot of people may not have been aware of, but um, and then Bjorn sent me this. It's a Man Thing, 22, but he has some. He included some cutout Marvel value stamps, one for Werewolf by Night, and one for Man Thing. So that's really cool. Um, should I start collecting these Marvel value stamps that have been cut out? I could see myself going down that road. I wouldn't cut them out of any of the books that I've already seen, but if I found one or could just get certain ones, that would be really cool. So, um, Bjorn, you might have started something here. So, thank you. And then the last two, I have a Tomb of Dracula, and of course, this is where Dracula is meeting Werewolf by Night, I think for the first time in a big fight. So, love this. Um, I've also been working on Tomb of Dracula, and Worlds Unknown is the last one they sent me. So it's a gun for dinosaur. So really cool. Really cool. Excited to check this out. Um, so Bjorn, thank you so much. Um, Next up is I won a giveaway from Johnny's Comic Stuff. And Johnny sent me um, a slab. So, and it's this. Now, some people might have jumped back for a second thinking this, oh my God, it's 181. Well, it is 181, but it's the facsimile, but it is the foil facsimile. 9.8 white pages. This is amazing. I don't care, I mean, sure, it'd be wonderful to have a regular 181, but to have any kind of 181 and a 9.8 slab, that's great. So this will look really nice presented, and it may think some people I have something in my collection that don't. So, Johnny, thank you so much. That was such a generous offer. I owe him big time for some things. And then, so that's my giveaway stuff. And then I had also a recent pickup that I got was this Adventure into Fear number 10. It's a first solo Man Thing. So I've quickly been getting some Man Thing, volume one and this Adventure into Fear series and starting to get in some of the bigger keys. And then I'll work on getting some of the rest of that at some point. So, but anyway, that was a lot of great free stuff that I had there. Um, Next up, I wanted to talk through a little bit about some books. So when I came home, I also had a couple weeks of recent comics that I had to pick up for my LCS. And there's a couple things I haven't heard a whole lot about, and I gave them a read and wanted to just give a quick review. First off is Survive. This is a Bad Idea comic. So Bad Idea, while they try to make their marketing and publicity and some of that kind of stuff a very bad idea, sometimes they do put out some pretty decent comics. And so I kind of wanted to try this one out. It's Survive. It's basically takes place on a submarine, and it's been exploded, and explosion happens, and this guy's trying to survive and all that kind of stuff. And so it has like a little twist at the end, but it was pretty good. The one thing I don't like, so this is as you can see, I am cutting into about halfway through the book, and that's where the story ends. So all the other stuff is some backup stories, a preview for another book, but the it's $5.99, and that's a lot of money when you're considering like, okay, it's got a regular comic in it, some other stuff, but it was like I recently just made a comment on Matt Likes Comics videos about some of the anthologies, and like Batman and Detective were like charging an extra buck for their book, but they were including like a little backup story in it that like for 4 to 6 pages or something like that. And it's like, I don't take the dollar away. Don't give me that backup stuff and charge me a cheaper price. Then I might keep reading your book. But this for $5.99, that's hard to swallow. So I'm probably not going to pick up any of the subsequent ones. Then the next one I got was this X-Men X-Men of Apocalypse Alpha. And this is a variant cover. I just thought this one was I don't know, it was just kind of a cool cover. I liked that. But I was like, I know X-Men is revamping and substituting books for a few months, all this Age of Apocalypse stuff and different titles and all that. And I, I do like X-Men. I like, the Claremont Byrne run. I love that stuff. And I love up to like, issues, up through the Gambit and Bishop, like first appearances in that, like up to 300, maybe for Uncanny X-Men. Um, but there's always so much X-Men, and it's so hard to digest it all. And then when I got this, I was just like, what in the world is going on? There's just so much, so many characters and information and stuff about that happened in the past and all that I was just lost. But it kind of further, um, reminded me to, hey, maybe just take a break off of this X-Men stuff for a little bit. So that's my plan. Um, this was an interesting book. Mad Cave. Mad Cave is just doing amazing stuff. If you can find Mad Cave, so because I know not everybody is carrying it. But this was I Killed Everyone But Me. And I thought the story uh, was pretty good. There's a girl that's kind of haunted by something, and people are dying around, of course, sounds similar to a lot of others' tales. The one thing I was not a big fan of, and this is just a style thing for me, but the art is done by Letizia Catanici, something like that. Um, so this is the artwork. It just reminds me a little bit too much of Werther Dell'Edera, big eyes, uh, things just not finished wonderfully. I love detail and that type of thing. Um, and it's just not my style of art. So not sure if I'm going to keep up with this. The story was intriguing, but again, for $5, I don't know if I want to keep reading that. Next up is Punisher Red Band. So I got this variant that has just like all the cool little images from all the comics from before. And I've heard a lot of people having mixed reviews about this. I enjoyed the story overall. And check out Casino Comics. He did just a pretty good review going through the synopsis of the book. But I was I enjoyed it. Um, I think I'm going to pick up number two, just see where it goes. But the art in it is really good. The story, kept me interested. Stuff that's been done before, but I'd almost like to give it another try, to see if it does something new. Um, and then I picked up everything, everything Dead and Dying, number one. This was definitely something I'm going to keep getting. It's written by Tate Bromble, and artwork is Jacob Phillips. And it's kind of a farmer that's protecting a land that is, where people he knows and, in his family and people in the community and animals in the community and things like that are all zombified, but he's okay. And there's kind of a twist of something that happens kind of at the end of the first issue, but compelling story, really well done. Artwork was great. And so definitely recommend checking that one out if you're looking for a new like miniseries to jump onto. And then I have Cul-de-sac, number two. So a lot of people aren't talking about Cul-de-sac. Um, and it's one of those I also have some mixed feelings about. So this is a series. There was a cul-de-sac where monsters dwell, I think is what it was called, where monsters lie. Um, Miniseries. It has nothing to do with this. This is a completely different project. This is also from Bad Idea. So also supports that $5.99 price tag with backup stories and things like that you could do without. But um, the story has been, um, I feel like a little scattered, but the thing is, I absolutely love Jonathan Weishak's art. And so I am hoping that they will let him breathe more and do the creepy, weird stuff that he likes to do. But look at that, man. That is just so cool. But that's Jonathan Weishak. So check out, it's just Weishak on Instagram. I'll probably tag it here. This looks like what's coming up in the next issue, coming in October. But really cool. Um, it's kind of a little hard to explain some of the story, but it's worth a read. I think I'm going to keep getting it because I love Jonathan Weishak, and hoping to support him to do more because he's going to be up and coming and amazing artist. Then I also got a Batman #1. I picked up the Mark Silvestri cover, and I enjoyed it. I thought this was pretty good. I love Jorge Jimenez. He does such a great job with art. The story was compelling. It's so weird that they're doing this Batman #1 issue while there's another Batman series with Jim Lee and all that that's still in progress. So it's like, we can't wait to reboot. We have to do it now. I don't know you know, why they're doing it that way, but they are. And um, but I really liked this cover the best out of what I saw when I was ordering. So I picked that up. Love all Mark Silvestri and all the bats. Um, so I was also able to snag a blind bag. And let's open it up. Let's see what I get. So when I was looking at the different options, it looks like I know they're all foils of different things, and some of them are like a 1 in 500 Jim Lee, 1 in 1,000 Jorge Jimenez. Doubt I'm getting any of that, but really any of the covers I would be excited about. Mostly, I would say, um, if I were to pick, I would I mean, the Art Germ is nice. Gelato is really nice. Those would probably be my top choices if I were to get a foil of one of these. So let's see. See what I get. Is it gold? I don't know. But anyway, here we go. Okay. So I got the Andy Kubert Steve Furchow. So I guess this was the 1 in 25 variant, but this is the foil for the 1 in 25 variant. Um, I don't know if that's extra valuable or what, but pretty cool. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and it works pretty well as a foil, unlike a lot of things. I'm picky about my foils, and that one was well done. So I'll look that up and see if that one was a cool one. Let me know if you know. Okay, we're getting there, people. All right. Last up, I wanted to share. I got two different Kickstarters that just came in the mail while I was gone. And the first one was done by Cullen Bunn. And Cullen Bunn he does a lot of writing, especially for horror. I've always really enjoyed a lot of the stuff that he's done. It's been stuff that has kind of hit and other stuff that has not hit as well. But anyway, he was doing a Kickstarter. It wasn't too expensive to do. He had 3 books that were coming out. The process for getting the books was uh, a little crazy because after they're like, hey, we're ready to ship, you had to go in, create an account, and log into something else, and use a link that they had sent and select books, but you would have an automatic credit put towards to select the ones that you wanted and then order them. So it was a little like, didn't I do that earlier? Just send me the books and I ordered. But you had to go through an extra process, which made it a little annoying. But there were 3 books that he put out, and all of these came signed. But the first one was The Window, um, and this was the one that I probably liked the best out of the 3. And it's just a one shot. So, but this was kind of a cool story. Um, Family, mother had died, kids were taken in. Um, and they were kind of rebelling in their own way. But they bought this house and then, a window where it opens up into another, almost like, I'm sorry, the father had died. So this was, like opens up into another, like Cthulhu-esque dimension where monsters could come through. And so it was a lot about the family, but it was a one shot. I would have read more of this, so I was kind of disappointed to see that. Then there was Long Pig and Azrael. And again, all these came in signed by Cullen Bunn there. This was about a hitchhiker with a demon that was kind of attached to him. It was kind of an okay story, not the best. Art was pretty good, but it was one shot. I wasn't overly impressed. And then there was Death Duel with the Chainsaw Witches. So it's kind of like during a heavy metal concert, and these rock chicks are out there and demons are coming out. It was, you know, typical fare, nothing exceptional about it. Kind of disappointed, but it was one shot. So it's like, yeah, all these are one shots. So I was like, whatever. Probably overall not thrilled with the Kickstarter overall, just because it was, I mean, it did cost some money, and I mean, I think there were like $20 or something like that for the three, but it's still like I wouldn't have picked that up off the shelf. I know Cullen Bunn was involved in writing. I'm not sure if he just came up with the ideas and then somebody else like fleshed out the story because it seemed like there were co-writers on a lot of that, and I think some of that got, probably brought it down a little bit. So. Um, but I did just get a Kickstarter in yesterday. I was really excited about, which is book two of this Dracula series. It's being done by Matt Wagner and Kelley Jones. And this is, so this series, I believe they're doing, I can't remember if it's three or four, but they're doing these stories that tie into the original Dracula series. The first one was just about more like Vlad the Impaler. Type of stuff. This is focusing on the three brides, but they're kind of like tangential stories that tie into the original thing. But this is me just opening it. Look at that cool front piece with the wolf and the moon there. That's awesome. I'm guessing I'm gonna need to flip and pre-select some things to maybe show. But the first one, the art is so incredible in this. There's a page. I love Kelley Jones. I love his art. And I will put a few pictures up. So typically, what they will do with these is these will be available in comic shops. There's a cool splash page there. These will be available in comic shops, but usually not for a few months. And they're getting ready to start a Kickstarter for issue number three. So, yeah, I mean, just amazing, cool, detailed, creepy art. So I really enjoyed number one. I was really excited. You know, it's like, yeah, and then I became Count Dracula. So check that out. It's got the mustache, like how he should. Nosferatu, the recent one, got that one right. And then they have some other original like copies of the original sketches that he included as part of a Kickstarter option that you could get some original sketches. So some little bit behind the scenes things, and then book three is going to be The Count, and that one comes out. I think the Kickstarter is supposed to go live either I think at the end of this month to wrap up usually at Halloween, and then we'll see where that goes from there. So anyway, that's a whole bunch of stuff. Sorry this video is so long, but I wanted to try to do something to try to get a little bit caught up because I got some other stuff coming out. So a couple of updates art-wise. Some people like to hear about my art. We have I have two pieces that just went out in the mail yesterday. One's as a surprise. The other is for Chris Parker, who won my giveaway. And I'll wait for him to receive it first, so he gets fresh eyes on it. But then I'll post to see what that looks like. But it was a Batman cover, but he wanted Swamp Thing involved in it somehow. So I hope I did that justice for him. And then there was some talk through uh, the FOMO squad when they had an interview with the artist for Ice Cream Man about having me redo. I think Matt from Impress Comics suggested, "Hey, Adam should redo that with the artist as the Ice Cream Man and some of us in the background." So stay tuned because I did say yes, I would do that. So there will probably be some details on Nate's channel at some point. He said he'd have me on, and we'll figure that piece out. And then I also have an, another uh, giveaway in a way. So Comics Curing Cancer had something on Mon's channel the night before the fire devastated his house, and I did something. I said, "Hey, if somebody wants to give $100 to Comics Curing Cancer, I'll do a sketch cover for them." And so a viewer did that and sent me screenshots of what he paid. And so he's commissioning me a piece to do, but because he's in Scotland, he wants me to do it, give it to somebody else, which I'll keep that a secret for now. But I'll be working on that. And then I have a list of people that I want to kind of surprise with some stuff. So I'm going to keep working down that list. So that should be exciting. And then there are two secret projects that you might start seeing me show up in upcoming weeks. So stay tuned. But that should be fun as well. So I hope you enjoyed this long video. If you hung in there, I appreciate that because this is like a Netflix show, just about in terms of time. So thanks so much for hanging in there. Hope you and everybody else is doing well in your family. Support Brandon for Mon and so in any way possible, even by sharing the information out, can be a big help. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I will catch you on the next one. Make sure you flip through a floppy. Take care. Bye bye.